Alrighty, we'll see how that goes. Thanks for coming on, guys. Welcome to Expert in the House tonight. My name's Dan Doyle from Sydney, Australia, and happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for sharing your time with me tonight. Sounds a little bit bizarre. You've all got partners out there, but you're on this call with me, so I really, really appreciate you taking your time tonight to be on this call. What we're going to go through tonight is an incredible breakthrough. You're going to hear about my journey back to phenomenal health, and also to a lifestyle that I could or would have never have imagined. And what you're going to hear about tonight is a company called ASEA. They're a cellular health company, and they've got these breakthrough products, which are phenomenal products, and you're going to know all about them by the end of this conversation. But I want to keep an open mind. I want to let you know what this breakthrough is. And there's a lot of health practitioners and professionals around the world saying that this is the single greatest health science, anti-aging, and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. Now, I'm going to say that again because there's a lot of people go, wow, it's that big, but I mean, it is the single greatest health science, anti-aging, and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. I mean, there's some health practitioners and professionals around the world saying there will never be a big breakthrough. A lot of people look at this technology, this breakthrough, these products for their own health. You may have a health challenge yourself, or you may know somebody that has a health challenge. You may not like the way you're looking or feeling as you're aging anymore. You may understand the concept of maintaining your body, looking after your health, eating properly, but putting in the right supplements to get your body working at optimal level. You may be an athlete and you're looking for an edge, or you may be looking for an opportunity. I'm going to go into my story, my journey. I gave it away a little bit there with the photo that you saw, but I'm going to go into my story and why I'm here talking to you today, my journey, where I've come from and what I've experienced in life. But before I do that, I just want to say that these breakthrough products, this technology, I'm going to go through a disclaimer that they are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or medical condition. So I just want to be upfront with that. What we're talking about here tonight is something that can empower the body to heal itself. So I'm just going to start with the first photo, and I'm just going to show you how passionate I was about my sports, how serious I was about my sports. This is just one example out of plenty of sports that I was involved in. I played rugby league for 12 years. I did judo, gymnastics, I did aerobics. I used to do a lot of surfing here on the northern beaches in Sydney. But I used to also do this thing called bodybuilding. And it's going to give me some curry, so my screen's frozen. I'm not going to do anything else. You guys are going to stay on. So I've got some backup here. Now this first photo is me in the early 90s at the age of 24 years old. And this was 1 week prior to the state titles, New South Wales titles. So I was literally getting ready. So I wasn't even in my best shape in this photo. But as I said, I'm just showing you how serious I was about what I used to do with my sports and how I used to maintain my health all my life. So if we fast forward 20 years, this photo is me at the age of 44. Now keep in mind, I wasn't a bodybuilder in this photo, but I just wanted to show you that I still used to look after myself. So, I was in the gym at 6:30 every morning. I used to do 40 kilometers on a stationary bike. I used to push light weights. I didn't want to be bulky anymore. I just wanted to be a fit and healthy 44-year-old. And I was doing that, to see how good I would look and feel by the time I reached the age of 50. Not that I was going to stop, but I really wanted to make sure I continued on the health and fitness journey. This photo here, I look very, very healthy, but I can tell you that I had two major problems that the doctors told me that I had that wasn't going away. So as much as I look fit and healthy, I was in a lot of trouble with my health. This next photo is a picture of me literally 6 months later. So this photo is in May of 2011. So you can see I've got no hair on my head, no hair on my whole body, as a matter of fact. So my second home here in Sydney was a hospital here called the Royal North Shore Hospital. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, played the highest level of rugby league, played for Cronulla Parramatta. He was 21 in this photo. And, they used to say that I got the bad one and he got the good one. Unfortunately, within 2 years, it came back and it took his life at the age of 23. So what I went through in that hospital, going through this period, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. This smile is a fake smile. I was just putting on a brave face, but I literally didn't want to be here because of what they were doing to me. At the end of what I went through in that hospital after 2.5 years, my health practitioner told me to get my affairs in order. Now, I was thrown back. I expected after 2.5 years of what they did to me that I was going to be okay. And the situation was I wasn't going to be. Now, here we've got it working again. So this is a photo of me and Johnny Manor. At this point of time, I made a decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. So I did a lot of research. I went into an alkaline diet. I used products from a lot of companies around the world that were very, very good products. I thought they were the best of the best, and I used products from companies called Zango, Cellgevity, Isogenics, Protandim, Kangen Water, and I did this for 2 years. I gave up my red meat, my chicken, my alcohol, but I wanted to live, I wanted to survive. But I'm going to show you a photo after 2 years on this pristine diet, spending a lot of money on these nutritional supplements, super juices and antioxidants. And you can see in this photo that I still wasn't looking any good. I wasn't looking healthy at all. I got red rings, yellow rings around my eyes. My skin is looking horrendous. What you're seeing here is an indication of what was still happening on the inside. And the results I was getting, because I get tested every single 6 months, was still not good. This was October 2014. Fortunately, I received a phone call from a friend of mine, Bart Cotter. He called me, and he was in the United States at the time. He was in Utah and Salt Lake City. And all he said was, I think I found something that could help. He was very excited. He sounded like a kid in the lolly shop. He knew I was in trouble with my health. He reached out to me, and thank goodness that he did. And thank goodness that I listened to him, because within a week, I was flying over to Utah, to Salt Lake City, to meet him in the headquarters of this company called ASEA. Now, we were listening to the breakthrough from the atomic and medical physicist, Dr. Gary Samuelson. We were sitting in the boardroom, at the boardroom table. There was about 25 of us. Mal Sword, another friend, came over. He had a skin condition for 40 years. Couldn't get on top of that skin condition. Spent $100,000 trying to get on top of that challenge. We were all sitting in the boardroom listening to this breakthrough. Now, hearing it from an atomic medical physicist, all the science was going over my head. But one thing that I did understand was that when these bottles were sitting on the table, Dr. Gary Samuelson said what was in this bottle was 100% non-toxic, and it could have health benefits. That was good enough for me. So there was little cups on the table, and we were gorging it down, getting as much in as possible. I mean, it was free anyway. So this is going to blow your mind, because what happened to me in a 48-hour period was just miraculous. Within 3 hours, I was going through a major detox. I went back to the hotel after the presentation to have a shower, to meet these guys for lunch. Dr. Gary Samuelson, Vertus Norton, who owned the company with his son, Tyler Norton, Bart Cotter, Mal Sword. We were going out to dinner. I took off my shirt to have a shower, and I'm covered in these little red spots all over my chest, my shoulders, and my back. Not knowing what I was going through at the time, I didn't put two and two together, but basically what I was trying to achieve for 2 years leading up to this photo, on a pristine diet, on an alkaline diet, using all these nutritional supplements, what I was trying to achieve to detox my body, to get it working better, to help me get on top of my health challenge, was literally happening in a 3-hour period. The toxins were coming out so fast, they couldn't wait till I went to the bathroom. They were coming out of my skin. The next morning, I got up and I'm thinking, I've got to test this stuff that I was drinking the day before. So I drank some of it that morning. We went to breakfast. Now, for 20 years, I've had a caffeine intolerance. Any more than 2 coffees, I'm buckled over with bloating and major issues with my stomach all day. It was very, very uncomfortable. So the next morning, I decided to get up and have 6 coffees to test the stuff that we're drinking. And I went through all these coffees. And I went through the day with nothing to remind me what I endured for a whole 20 years. That 20 years was literally gone the next morning. I still didn't put 2 and 2 together, only for the fact is that there was nothing to remind me of what I used to go through. So they say that pain has no memory. The next day we went to a theme park. Now, this was the big one. This is when the light bulb went on. So what they put me through in that hospital caused so much damage to my lungs, I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. And the next day we went to a theme park to have some fun. I went with Bart, I went with Mel. We're going to go on the roller coaster and get chased by zombies and all sorts of things. It was Halloween at the time. And we went to this theme park. We got there, it was early. There weren't too many cars in the car park. And keep in mind, I used to have trouble breathing and talking at the same time. I used to have trouble walking upstairs or walking up a hill. It was a major issue with the way my lungs were performing. I got out of the car and I said to Bart and Mel, I said, I just feel so great. I feel like Superman. I started running across this car park. I must have run about 100 meters in 12 seconds flat. I stopped. 2 days earlier, I would have been on my hands and knees. I wasn't huffing and puffing. And it was like my lungs were breathing by themselves. That was when the light bulb went on. So I had 3 major breakthroughs, 3 wins in a very short period of time. Do you think I was still going to keep drinking this product when I came back to Australia? Of course I was. I was sneaking it in. I was buying it from America. It was costing a fortune with shipping, but I needed this product for my health. So we were getting the product in. I was drinking 1 bottle per week. Unfortunately, I needed a lot more for the health condition, the health challenge that I had. But unfortunately, coming from a very successful businessman to literally losing everything because I lost my health, I could only afford a bottle a week. So October 2014 through to June 2015, I was on 1 bottle per week. Fortunately, I made enough money in June 2015 to go up to half a bottle a day. And by the end of the year, December 2015, just over 1 year after starting the product, I got some really, really good news. My health practitioner said, hey, we can't find any sign of the 2 major issues that you had, the 2 things that they had no answer for, the ongoing hospital visits that I would have had that unfortunately would have ended up shutting down my body with what they were doing. And just over a year later, this was the photo I took in December 2015. But not only that, at this time I had major injuries, a lot of injuries from playing sports from 35 years ago. I had a whiplash injury, 80% use of one shoulder, 80% use of one hand. I had back problems, hip problems, pelvic problems. My body was totally falling apart. These issues were getting worse and worse every year as I got older. And my whole body was rebuilt in 2015 leading up to this photo. I had issues from pollen. I used to sneeze. My nose used to run all day. I had those issues for 20 years. All went away, all handled in 2015, the first 12 months of taking this product. So before I go into what this is, actually, I decided to put another photo into this presentation because I wanted to show you not only my health coming back, but the anti-aging component. So this was December 2015, and this was only 2 years later in this next photo. And skin's clearing up, eyes are clearing up, everything's looking physically healthier again from 2 years later after I got all that good news. So I'm just going to cut out the presentation now and just go back to you, to me on the screen. And before I go into this breakthrough, what these molecules are, what these molecules are responsible for, what they do in the human body, I just want to talk to you about how disease starts. Every single disease on the planet starts with a damaged cell. There is a mechanism within the body that finds this damage. But unfortunately, sometimes this damage isn't detected. So if a cell isn't detected and it's damaged, it will divide, as a good cell will divide into 2 damaged cells. If they're not detected, they will divide into 4 and 8 and 16 and so on. And then all of a sudden, you've got something spreading in your body that won't come to the surface for about 5 to 20 years. It takes that long for these issues to come to the surface. The mechanism which finds this damage in the first place are molecules, signaling molecules called redox signaling molecules. I'm not going to go too much into the science. I'm just going to really briefly touch on the mechanism, the chemical reaction that happens within the cell. In our cells, we have a power plant called the mitochondria. You may or may not have heard of the mitochondria. If you haven't, the mitochondria produces the energy for the cell, the ATP. But as a byproduct of production, it also produces these redox signaling molecules. There's a chemical reaction that changes the molecular structure of salt water into these molecules. We're made up of 70% salt water, little bags of salt in every single cell, chemical reaction, salt water is pulled apart, reconstructed into these molecules. They have got a split second to do their job. What's their job? Okay, well, their job's to detect a cell. Detect a cell and then to either protect it if it's a good cell, repair it if it needs repair, or destroy and replace if it needs to be destroyed and replaced if it's too far gone. They also activate antioxidants. We all know how important antioxidants are. Antioxidants are useless do not work unless they're activated by these redox signaling molecules. We've got a lot of damage that builds up in the body, oxidative stress. This is our bodies rusting. This is when our bodies are trying to repair ourselves but doing more damage than good. An example of that would be the plaque that builds up in our arteries. These molecules detect it, signal the body to it, and it's dealt with. The body doesn't know where the bacteria is, the virus, or the infection unless the body's told. These molecules are the communication, the signals to tell the body where these issues are. These molecules also turn on genes. So it's like switches turn on the body to increase your healing power. So your whole body talks all the way through, down to your DNA level, gene expression. All your major systems are very important. Your immune system, which you know about, cardiovascular system, pancreatic, endocrine system. We've got all these major systems, skin, skeletal system. They are regulated by these molecules. They bring these systems into balance. So basically, these molecules are running our whole body. They're critical and crucial to life. They are foundational to health. They are keeping our cells working at optimal level. If you stop producing these molecules right now, you'd be in a lot of trouble. As a matter of fact, you'd probably only have 1 or 2 breaths left in you. So that's everything about the cells, these molecules, what they do with the cells, keeping them working at optimal level, the cell-to-cell communication, signaling the body to heal itself. Now, unfortunately, as we get older, production of these molecules decline. Children produce them in abundance. You may have children, you may have grandchildren, you will definitely know what they are, I hope. They are full of energy. They run around all day and they heal and recover very, very quickly. Up to the age of about 12 years old, we're producing these molecules in abundance. When you get to my age, at the age of 50 years old, we only have 50% production left. We get to 70 years old, we only have 10% production left. So a 70, 80, 90-year-old is healing 10 to 20 times slower than what they did at the age of 10 years old. And as I said, if you stop producing these molecules right now, you'd probably live about 3 seconds. So what's the good news? Okay, this company called ASEA, after 17 years and science thought it was impossible, have created these molecules outside of the body in these 2 breakthrough products. One that we can drink and one that we can apply to the skin. As I said, science thought it was impossible because these molecules are fleeting in nature. You are producing millions per second and there's millions per second being used up. And if they don't detect a cell, they revert back into what they were made from, which is salt water, and they'll go through that same process that I was talking about with the mitochondria, with that chemical reaction. Now, because they're fleeting in nature and these molecules have got a positive and negative charge, science thought it was impossible to create them outside of the body. But as I said, this company, ASEA, has done that. They have changed the molecular structure of salt water over a 3.5-day electrochemical process, pulled the atoms of salt water apart and reconstructed them into stabilized, balanced, redox signaling molecules, the exact same molecules found in every single healthy cell of your bodies right now. So now we can top up a 70-year-old to heal like a 10-year-old. We can potentially empower anybody's body to get on top of anything that their body's going through. The great thing is we can do that with the liquid we can drink, which is 100% non-toxic. It's bioactive, which means it works as soon as it goes in because it's native to the body, not natural. It is native to the body, what our body produces. So we all know how important food is. Absolutely, nutrition, antioxidants, and all these supplements, everything we're topping up with, but the body needs to work out what to do with that. The body needs to work out how to utilize that. These are the building blocks of our cells. Okay, where do we need this food, nutritional supplement, antioxidant, whatever it may be? Our body needs to work out what to do with it. That is natural. It's not native. There's one thing better than natural, and it's native, and that's what these molecules are. But this is different. This is unlike anything you've ever heard of. These are the cell signaling molecules that signal the body to heal itself. Unless the body knows where the damage is, it will not be repaired. It won't be dealt with. So these molecules will detect anything that is in the body that's not supposed to be there and signal the body to expel it from the body, no matter what it is. It will also detect what's supposed to be there, tendon, bone, ligament, muscle, organ, and signal the body to rebuild. And it's as simple as that. So this is the single greatest health science, anti-aging and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. It actually, you can see by my photos, we can't make any claims, but I just want to throw in a quick one if everybody can keep a secret. Prior to using this product 3.5 years ago, I used to be quite ugly. You can see the changes in my photos. I'm actually reversing age. The biggest breakthrough in sports performance, endurance, strength, recovery, mental stamina. The studies have been incredible. So guys, this can do a lot for a lot of people. Anybody, anything that's living on the planet, not just humans, but animals and plants. That's the product side. That's all about the product. It's a little bit about my journey. I'm going to continue talking about my journey, but I just want to reach out to you to ask any questions back to me in the chat box. Before you start throwing questions at me, please keep in mind, don't talk about specific conditions, because if you are going to ask me about a specific condition, I'm going to ask you a question back. Is there a cell involved? If there is, it can help. And with anybody who has a particular condition or issue, there's always a cell involved. So please don't ask about a particular issue or condition, because there is a cell involved, and if there is, which there is, it can help. So I ask anybody who wants to reach out and ask any questions. I've got everybody saying they can hear me loud and clear. Hopefully that's still the case. If you want to let me know you can hear me loud and clear and see me, that'd be great. If there's any questions you would like to ask, please ask. I've got Ian raising hand. Ian, there is a chat box or a Q&A box. Please ask any questions you want to ask, and I'll answer them on this call. Okay, Craig, no, the drink doesn't have 1 second. That's a good question. So our bodies only produce these molecules, and these molecules that we naturally produce only last for a split second. The great thing about what they have produced in this bottle, these molecules are so stable, they work for up to 3 hours in the body. Do you think they're going to find something within 3 hours? I would say so. So the molecules are so stable, they last up to 3 hours. So great question, thank you. Would Renew and ASEA be better for any ladies' parts, womb, ovary? So we're just talking about certain body parts. We're not talking about issues. I'm going to ask the same question, is there a cell involved? And that's going to answer it. Christina, why would someone healthy take this? Great question. Okay, so we know now that the product has got scientific validation on switching on genetic pathways and reducing oxidative stress. I mean, these are the major issues in our bodies. Genetic pathways actually closing, not working efficiently, body not healing itself, those the communication signals throughout the body, and the body not healing as well, but also the oxidative stress that's building up, which leads to 95% of adult disease, degenerative disease, with oxidative stress. So there is validation now on the product, which the Americans have told us that turn on multiple genes. So there was a study with 35 healthy people in America, and the results that they did get over there that I'm hearing that were reported back to us in Australia is that they're healing the genetic pathways open 30%. These healthy 35-year-olds healing literally went up that much. They went through the roof, so they were healing a lot quicker. And when they came off the product, after 8 weeks off the product, the genes or the genetic pathways literally went back to performing the way they did before taking the product. So even if you're healthy, even if you want to live longer, healthier, you would take this product because your production of redox signaling molecules is declining literally 10% every decade. Richard, hi Dan. Are there any peer-reviewed published? Okay. So as far as scientific validation on the well, when it comes to redox signaling molecules, if you into the science, go to PubMed, PubMed.gov, and there's about 20,000 peer-review articles on these molecules from scientists all around the world and what their role and function is within the human body. I mean, I've already gone through that anyway, but if you want to look at the science, that's all there. Guys, you can go in and check out amazingmolecules.net if you're interested in looking at the product, the science, the doctors and scientists talking about it, amazingmolecules.net. and you can do some research there. So thank you, Richard, for bringing that up and guiding me to where people can check out some stuff. Okay, any more questions on the product side, guys? I'm just conscious of people's times and Valentine's Day. I know you might have a romantic late dinner or a little red or a little wine ready for you with your loved ones. Any more questions on the product side, you're more than welcome to ask. How quickly does the gel go into the skin and how long is it effective? So, great question. So anything that you put in your mouth is going to be absorbed, obviously, the way it is, but anything you put on your skin is going to be absorbed 8 times faster. So if you're putting the gel on your skin, whatever it goes through, whatever is coming in contact with, whatever cells that it's actually coming in contact with, the body will be signaled to deal with that cell. Product validation and science, plenty of product validation and science when it comes to all the products. So there's the whole skincare range, the new advanced system. As I said, there's no skincare range or supplement on the planet that can get close to what this does for the human body. If you want to go to ASEAGlobal.com and go into the science part of that website, you can check that out there. How does the product pass through the brain-blood barrier? Very good question, Diego, but it does. You can check out that through probably some of the scientific validation. You probably more go back to pubmed.gov, put in the word redox signaling when you go to that website and put in blood-brain barrier, and you'll get all that up. Best times to take ASEA. In the morning on an empty stomach. Thank you, Ian. I like to spread half a bottle. I still drink half a bottle over the whole day. The molecules are active for up to 3 hours. So I like to take it and to basically make sure my body is healing and recovering at optimal level right throughout the whole day. Different horses for different courses. People will need different amounts for whatever their challenges are. I would suggest you go back to the person who introduced you to this call, and they will let you know how to take the product properly. They will also give you access to the product through helping you open up your own account. You're more than welcome to still keep asking questions on the product and anything we've spoken about. But now I'm going to move on to the opportunity, because I know there's a lot of people on this call that are helping us share this with the world and helping us have an impact on a lot of people's lives in so many ways. So just going back to my story, 3.5 years ago, Bart called me, and thanks to Melissa, their support's just been incredible, not for me, just for me personally with my health and getting that call earlier on, but also sharing this with people and building the business. So when it comes to the business part, sharing this with people, 3 years ago, I was struggling literally to put food on the table because everything that I had achieved in life was literally snuffed out overnight because I lost my health. So, you know, I'd get up every morning, it's literally 3 years ago today, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I need to put food on the table, I need more product for my health, and I know what this can do for people, so I need to share it with people as well. So back then, I made a decision 3 years ago to start sharing this with people, and I did it with all the passion that I had because I knew what it did for me and I knew what it could do for other people. I needed to get it out there as quickly as I could. It helped me. I still needed to make some money to get some product for myself, but also, you know, the satisfaction of helping so many people on this planet. So I embarked on building this as a business, sharing it with people. Now, this business model, the word-of-mouth business model, network marketing, multi-level marketing, when I was in traditional business, I used to run for my life. I used to literally run in the other direction if somebody mentioned any of those words, multi-level marketing, network marketing. And, you know, I was naive. I wasn't open to anything then. I was in traditional business, and I thought that traditional business was the only way to go. I'd been in corporate. I mean, what I've learned now is that this company, ASEA, and with us collectively, have turned the network marketing model into the best business model on the planet. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We've got the biggest breakthrough. We've got a company with integrity. We've got a company that leads by their ethos, their values, their principles. We've got a company who could have sold out to the pharmaceutical industry for a lot of money, who decided to leave this as their legacy to humanity because they knew was just going to bury it. Vertus Norton used to run a Fortune 50 company, a $40 billion division of craft foods in America. And, you know, he's a very intelligent man. So these guys at the helm of this business We've got strategic business planning experts that run this business. And, you know, you look at what this is. It's a gift. It's a gift that you can give someone. It's a gift that Bart and Melissa gave to me. It's the best gift that I've ever received. It's the biggest gift that you'd ever receive. It's the biggest gift that you could ever give to somebody. So it is a gift that can take you back to your health. It's a gift that can take you back to looking younger, feeling younger, living longer, healthier. It's also a gift that can take you to financial freedom. So 3 years ago this month, I engaged in the business side. I got my head around it being a network marketing business. I know there's not a better model now. I'd never get involved in traditional business or go to work for somebody ever again because I know what this is. So in that first year, we only had this product, the gel that fortunately cured my ugliness. And we worked hard. I mean, it's fantastic. We were the pioneers of Australia to get this out there and to create testimonials of people with their wrinkles, with their cellulite, with the smoothness of the skin, with their elasticity in their skin, right? With any issues that they had from the outside, anywhere that they hurt, any skin challenges. We were creating stories and testimonials with this. And in 12 months, I became a diamond in this business. And it was from that period of time I could do anything I want financially from having zero in the bank only 12 months before. March of February 2015, I literally was struggling to put food on the table. Today, I'm an ambassador of Triple the Diamond, which is just a reflection of the amount of people that I've helped. I can book a trip tomorrow. I can go anywhere in the world. I can travel full-time if I wished. I just come back from traveling the world for 6 months. And there's an opportunity for anybody to take this to anywhere you want to go with this opportunity. I've never seen anything like it. I built and sold, I had my hand in 20 traditional businesses over 20 years. Everything that I had achieved in the past pales in comparison to what this is today, to this opportunity, to this breakthrough. So if you're going to do this, guys, you need to seriously do it. You can't fluff around with it. You can't treat it like a hobby. It is a serious business. If you want to help people, you need to treat this like a business. And so there's a few tips and handy hints of the way that you can do this, or the mindset you can get into. I built traditional business, so I came straight into this and I treated it like a business. Unfortunately, the fact is that anybody in Australia, it costs $54 to get involved, or anyone in America, it costs $40. So to open an account, to engage in sharing this to people, with people, it doesn't cost much. So, and in it not costing much, you can walk away from something like that. But just imagine if you invested $1 million, not $40 or $54. Just imagine if you needed a return on your investment, that you invested $1 million into a business, and unless you worked it like a business, you weren't going to get a return on that investment. So guys, that's the first way to look at it. Build it like a business that it is, and it will return you, I'm telling you, a lot more than you could ever return from any other business. I was involved in so many businesses. I built the biggest crowd control security company in the country with 600 staff. And as I said, what I earned from that business, what I turned over in the business, pales in comparison to what it is today. Now, there's another way to look at it. You can look at it as going to work. For those who go to work, who are employed on this call, you go to work, you sign on, you clock on, you bundy on, and then you're owned. You're owned all that day by your boss, the person who owns the company, the manager there. And you need to do what they want you to do, which is to perform. You need to reach targets. You need to reach goals for the company. And if you're not doing that, and if it just didn't work, you're probably going to get the sack. You're probably going to get fired. So if you bundy on, if you clock on, if you sign on every morning with building this business till you drop off every night like I do, you are going to build a massive organization. There's no ifs or buts about that. The way I build this business is in survival mode. 3 years ago, I look back, and the first day I made a decision. I needed to put food on the table. I needed my health back. I needed to help people. I still build it the same way. Now, I don't build it the same way because I'm greedy. I don't build it the same way because I want to make a lot more money, and I want, you know, my achievements to be, you know, the number one associate in the company or anything like that. The way I'm building it, because I've got to have myself in the mindset of getting up in the morning in survival mode. I need to put food on the table. I want my health back. I need to help people because I am going to have the most impact on people's lives with that mindset. If I wake up any other way, I'm going to miss 1 second or 1 minute, and that could mean literally changing someone's lives or even saving it. So I wake up with the mindset of survival, like I need to put food on the table. And the more I do that, the more impact I'm going to have on more lives. So, guys, you just got to make sure that everything you're doing is productive when it comes to building a business like this. Productivity is going to count. Income generating activity. We want you to make money. We want you to be successful. That is a reflection of the people that you are helping. If you're busy and you're not productive, more than likely you're spinning your wheels. There's a lot of people I know in this business that are busy, but they're not productive. They're doing or saying the wrong thing. They're not plugging people into these calls or events or whatever it may be. So their wheels are just spinning and spinning and spinning. If you do things properly, you're going to get traction. So recognize at any moment of any time in your day when you're being busy and not being productive, when you're not generating income generating activity, when the income generating activity isn't happening, you need to change and head towards that direction. Otherwise, you're not helping people. So hopefully you get what I mean there. So just basically what I do, I run my business by a diary. I put in that diary spending time with my family and friends. You may go to church and you put that in your diary. You've got your job to go to or your business. You need to put in diary the things that you have to do in life, the things that you want to do in life. You need to put that in your diary, and that time is allocated. Then what you do with your diary, because if you're serious about building the business, you need to have your goals and targets in there. You need to put the events in there, the webinars, the calls. These things need to be in there, and you need to know when they're on, not just for you, but for your team. You need to advise your team when these things are on. You need to reach your targets and goals. Your performance should be at the level that it is in your business that you're in now, or the employment that you're currently in. And there's a lot of white spots left in your diary after that. 95% of what we do is three-way calls. I made a big mistake by coming back from America, really excited about what this did for my health. And I went to my family, my whole family, my parents, my uncles, my aunties, my cousins, everybody, to tell them about this incredible breakthrough. And I had an auntie who had a very serious health challenge that just started back then. She just found out 3.5 years ago. Unfortunately, I spilled my guts over everybody and sounded like a scientist when everybody knew me as growing up as little Danny, going to school, working for ASEA Corporate, and then being in traditional business. And I told them everything about this breakthrough, about the science, the technology, these products, redox signaling molecules, about ASEA, how great a company it is. And I sounded like Dr. Gary Samerson. And there's only 5 of him in the world. I'm not one of them. So unfortunately, 3 years on, or 3.5 years on, my auntie, who was quite healthy back then, my uncle, who only believed in the doctors and not in his nephew, that was telling him about what this was because I opened my mouth too much. My auntie's in a wheelchair today, and she hasn't got too long to be on this planet. She's not going to last long. So we all get excited about what this is. We all want to help everybody. But just remember, a third party is very, very important. Now, I never mention the word ASEA, not because I'm trying to hide something from anybody. It's because we need to do this the right way. Not mention ASEA, redox signaling molecules, not to talk about the breakthrough, the science behind it or anything like that. Just keep it very simple and get a third party in to edify what you're saying. Get an expert in, get a world authority in. So now I'll just say something really basic. Hopefully all of you are coming to the Gold Coast this weekend because you're going to learn a lot more, but I'll just give you an example of what we say. And I might ring somebody now and say, hey, I've come across a health technology that's helping people with their health challenges. They're saying it's the biggest breakthrough in health in our lifetime. I don't know too much about the science, but a friend of mine, he's a world authority. He's an expert on the subject. You really need to hear about this for the sake of you and your family. And boom. Even with my knowledge now, I will pass the call on to Bart, onto upline, onto downline. I will never handle a conversation by myself with somebody that I know too well because they only know me as growing up as who I am. And that's not somebody that sounds like a scientist. So guys, do this the right way. Use your third-party edification. Get that third party in to edify what you're saying, what you want to say, what you'd like to say. Make sure your diary is full of these calls. This is a three-way call. You guys are all on here listening to world authority, an expert on the subject, listening to my story. So you can point people in this direction. You can organize three-way calls. You can take people to events. Plugging people in is very important. Taking it away from you is very important. You don't have to make the mistakes that we made. We've got a massive event this weekend. If you're not going, you should be there. Do everything you can to drop everything. Get yourself on a plane. It's cheap. Accommodation on the Gold Coast. And get to the Australasian Envision Conference. You will learn so much from this event. First days with the companies, second days with the leaders, teaching you how to build this business, what to say, what not to say, how to be strategic, how to set up your structure. If you're serious about building this business, you'll come up to the Gold Coast this weekend. I'm heading off to Asia, to Singapore on Monday, then to Taiwan and Hong Kong. I'm traveling the world. I'm here to support you build your business no matter where it is. This is a global business. We are at the beginning of a 3 to 5 year global expansion plan. The company is not holding back now. Don't miss the boat. These markets will be taken by somebody else. What is the worst thing somebody's going to say to you when you talk to them about this technology or ask them to talk to an expert? Most of you are saying no. The worst thing is, I joined up with somebody else last week. Guys, don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. This is here for the taking. The more people you help, the more successful you'll be, and we're here to help you with that success. I'm going to ask for any last minute questions on anything at all that I've spoken about, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, let's have a look. Jeanette, Danny, where can I find the wording on bioagiletics redox certification? So on a bottle of ASEA, as you can see, there's a third-party laboratory called Bioagiletics. This company is responsible for certifying the products, or the pharmaceutical products of 21 of the top 21 of the top 25 pharmaceutical companies in the world. The reason why ASEA got them involved as a third party is because over the years, when somebody Googled what's in this bottle, it came up as salt and water, and people put all sorts of rubbish on that search engine, not the research engine. This company has put their name on this bottle because every batch, every single week is sent to this company, this Bioagiletics, to test what is actually in the product. What is in this product isn't salt water anymore, but trillions and trillions of redox signaling molecules. If you go to ASEAglobal.com, you'll find all the science and all the certifications as well. And Christine has also put on ASEAscience.com, which will take you directly to that, and also to all the science and all the validations and all the studies that have been done on the products as well. Guys, do we have any more questions at all? But you might want to reach out in a message to let me know if I need to do anything with the recording before I just hang up on everybody. You're more than welcome to keep asking questions, guys, while we're on. Set very mindful of your Valentine's Day and your loved ones. It's now 10 to 10. I'll just go to the Q&A box. How does ASEA pass through the blood-brain? Well, we had that one. Yeah, okay, Diego, that's fine. We've answered that one. Any more questions, guys? Appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming onto this call. We really appreciate you listening to what we've got to say. For those who do want access to the product, please go back to the person who introduced you. They will open up an account, get you access to the product. If you're serious about getting this to the world and you want to build the business, also do the same thing. Reach out to the person and they're upline to help you to get this to the world, guys. We are very serious about this. We know what it can do for people. We know how it can help people. So thank you very much for participating today.